Hello there everyone, welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today, we're going to start playing Deep Sky Derelicts together. There's going to be a small gotcha for this playlist though. If you don't care about that, however, and you also don't care about anything else in the preamble, go ahead and go down below to the comment section. There'll be a pinned comment from me, which I'll sum up what I was going to talk about anyway, and there'll be a link down there if you skip ahead to where we get into the game proper. We're going to cover what Deep Sky Derelicts is, we're going to try to cover characters as well for this game and character creation, and this could take a little bit of time. Alright, well, let's get to it, shall we? First, the little gotcha for this playlist of mine. Deep Sky Derelicts will not be a game that I'm going to play too often. This is a game that I will play when I'm in the mood not to play a game that requires more activity, shall we say. Occasionally, I find myself in the mood to play something that I can drink tea with while playing. So like a game like The Witcher 3 requires me having both hands active at the same time. The same for most of the games I play. The exception would be Armageddon Empires, but that game's over there in the other room. And so sometimes I just don't want to go over there. And so I am super lazy. So this game will be the Tim is really lazy and wants to play a game while sipping soda or drinking something and just sit back without having to move even 2 arms around. So thus this game. As such, you should not expect this game to be uploaded too often. Probably once every 2 weeks or so, we'll get a video uploaded for Deep Sky Derelicts. Now, what the heck is this game? Well, Deep Sky Derelicts is a turn-based strategy game. I would put it in a similar vein to a JRPG. However, your characters will be using decks to determine what actions they will perform on their turns. These decks are tailored to their classes and equipment that you've given them, as well as anything that you decide to take when you level up. I really like Deep Sky Derelicts from my, I want to say like 150 hours or so of playing this game so far. I've gotten into situations where I've had to give up because I simply ran out of money and I could not make progress because of it. I like that there's such an ending for you. I've had groups wiped as well in combat. I would consider this to be a fairly difficult game if you don't know what you're doing. And you're gonna see me make lots of mistakes because even after all these hours, there's a lot to keep track of. And I still might not know what I'm doing. Now, before we get going any further, you should know that what you're going to see is this game playlist contains both of the expansions that are out for the game at the moment. Station Life is one of them, and I cannot remember the name of the other, but I possess both. These expansions add a little more flavor to what you'll discover. You'll be able to go down on the surface of planets, not just end up in the derelicts that we'll be exploring. It comes with a new character class for each expansion that you get, and the Station Life expansion, which was released I think just 2 weeks ago, adds random events back on town, and I think crafting was newly added in that one as well. Thankfully, I've spent a few hours trying to figure out how crafting works, so I think I can guide us through that when it comes time to do that. Alright, so with all that said, I think we're good to... Oh, well, I guess we should talk a little bit more about the game before we actually get started. So, the game plays like a JRPG with characters who have their own unique cards. They'll have an initiative. Whoever wins initiative will be going first. The derelicts and planets we will explore are randomly generated. The quests are also randomly chosen from a pool of quests. There is a good amount of replayability in the game because of the different types of builds you can do with all the characters available to you. But there is also... the quest pool is rather low, and so after you bring like your 3rd group through, you will begin seeing the same quests, and you'll be like, oh, okay, I know what to do, and you'll just skip it. So some of the quest text anyway. But that's, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm trying to give the game a review, and that's not what I like doing until I beat the game. So, with all that said, I think we're good to start the game. Let's go ahead and start us up a new campaign. We'll talk more about combat when we get into it. Now, there's a lot here to process. First off, we get to can choose a random name up here or choose your own. The names of each of your individual characters, the classes of these characters. You can see their stats here as, oh! Right! You can hover over these and it actually tells you what they do. So I'm just going to hover over these then, so that you guys can see what these different stats do. The type of stat that you want on a character varies depending upon that type of character. Generally, that character class will have a higher base level of that stat. So our technician, for example, he really wants to be good at tech. Looks like medical is his secondary, with scavenging and weaponry as his, what's the word? It's not thirdary. Traditiary? I can never pronounce that. And mental is a dump stat. Here's a leader, for example, with decent weaponry and good mental abilities, and a tracker with good weaponry, actually fantastic weaponry, and not so much good at anything else. You can left-click on it and see what type of abilities it is that they'll be able to gain as they level up. Now, I've seen most of these classes. In fact, I guess we'll cover these classes very quickly. We have the Technician. He is good at shields. Shields are your hit point pool that is regenerated at the start of every combat. Your hit points are not recovered, and if your hit points reach 0, that character is eliminated. You can resurrect heroes back in town, but it's very expensive to heal health. So you definitely would want to make sure shields are arguably more important, but if you have a medic with you, they might not be as important, assuming your medic can heal your wounds. Speaking of medics, here they are. So, a medic specializes mostly in buffs and debuffs. They also can heal your characters and also grant them temporary health. Temporary health is eliminated first before real health is. Basically, consider it like a hit point buffer. Do you remember 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons and the aid spell, which added a temporary 1 to 8 hit points to you? The medics, some of the medics' skills or cards will do that. A leader does decent damage and has a bunch of buffs and debuffs that he shouts based on his mental stat rather than medical stat. He doesn't tend to heal. You can play a leader such that he's like a DPS with incredible damage and he can have other people guard him, or you can even use him as a tank instead, where he guards all your companions instead. Scrappers are DPS. They are a mixed, they have a melee and a ranged weapon. I guess I should cover that as well. Technicians have ranged weapons, so do medics. A leader has both a melee and a ranged weapon, as does a scrapper. This also means that the scrapper cannot use a two-handed weapon, I think. He might be, I don't know, I don't think he can. I don't think, for example, he can use a power fist, but he's not going to be able to use a heavy weapon, We'll get to that in the game. I'm already getting distracted. Scrappers are good at scavenging. In fact, you can see, I guess I should cover this really quick. Scavenging and mental in particular are interesting because they have benefits to you outside of combat. A scavenger gets more loot, and a high mental character, that's going to be a leader more or less, gets more credits after a quest is completed. So this is one type of DPS character, is the Scrapper. A Miner is another DPS class. They have a decent amount of hit points, and they do good range damage. Actually, they're phenomenal at range damage. I have not used the Inventor, so I cannot very much comment on them. They were newly added in the Station Life expansion. Tracker, range DPS, very similar to the Miner, but the Tracker has a ranged and a melee option, whereas the Miner only has a ranged option. The difference, though, is that the Miner will be using a heavy ranged weapon, a cannon, as you can see, as opposed to the Tracker, who uses a precision weapon by default and an energy knife. The Bruiser is a pure melee character. You can build him to be a tank as well if you so desire. In fact, I think his starting card for his class is, in fact, something that forces the enemy to attack him. And as you can see, he also uses heavy weapons, a two-handed melee weapon of some sort. And those are the characters. God, I really kind of screwed that up. In any case, let's go ahead and pick our characters, shall we? So I'm thinking that we will play a scrapper, a miner, and a medic will be this class. Oh, I like that! The Ruthless Scum. Is that what I want to name is that what I want their names to be? Let's call them Down and Out instead. You can pick the type of look for your character here as well, between 3 different portraits. I think we'll pick this for him. Name him Twitch for our miner. Oh, we'll cover what this is in a little bit as well. Sure, we'll go with this as a look. We'll name her Pulsar. And our medic, will name him or her Patches. And I like this look for the medic. Yeah, we'll stick with this. You can also go ahead and pick a portrait. Let's think here. I kind of like this guy's starting face. Yeah, we'll go with this. For our miner, we'll make you a girl. That's good. And our medic. Alright, next. You choose a singular... how should I say? What you choose down here adjusts the character in some minor way. It would be useful for us to kind of guess how we want to level these characters later on. As this character levels, he will gain certain stat increases every time he levels. Later on, we'll be able to dual class him, and there is almost no reason why you should not do that. When you do so, you'll gain extra stat points in certain skills as well. I'm thinking one of my characters will probably be charismatic. Let's have Patches. Well, no, we'll have Twitch be charismatic. I think. What type of tools do you use? One tool only. Patches, you get 2 tools. Sure. We'll have you be charismatic, Patches. Crafty would make sense for a scrapper, but I wouldn't mind him being neurotic for plus... Oh, these are all very nice. Let's give him some evasion. Twitch will have 5% evasion to start. And our miner, we have no melee damage, so that's going to be pointless. Crafty or neurotic? Do I want a better chance that our miner goes first? What's your initiative to start? We don't see. Okay. Yeah, let's go with neurotic. Lastly, do we want normal mode or hardcore? We'll play hardcore. If all of our characters die, it is game over. A character can die into combat, and then you can go back and resurrect them, and you'll be okay. But if every character dies in a single combat, that's the end of you. Losing even a single character in combat, though, in any combat, tends to be game over for you. It's very expensive to get that character back on their feet again if you lose them. And the early part of the game is especially rough for this group because we're not playing a tech to start. But I think we'll be okay. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Welcome, Scavenger. I've been expecting you. Now I don't need to tell you that the world is unjust. You must know it better than most. Being an aristocrat myself, I can only imagine the hardships you stateless must endure. That's why I'm offering you a possibility to leave that brutal life of yours behind. Really? What is this offer? I want you to find the fabled mothership and secure it. As a reward, I offer you full galactical citizenship. The mothership is just a myth. I understand your skepticism. I can't even say that word correctly, but the mothership is not a matter of belief, but an astonishing fact you should learn to appreciate. There might have been more things I was going to say, but I scrolled off the screen. Our scientists have discovered that the mothership is hidden somewhere in this sector. We have reasons to assume that it is filled with technological wonders beyond belief. The Triumvirate, oh no. Triumvirate? is willing to pay anything for it. Find it, and I will grant you citizenship. Needless to say, you would be rewarded with a one-way ticket to an easy life on a comfortable and beautiful mirror world. Sounds too good to be true, despite the fact you're mispronouncing most of the words you're saying. But why me? And how am I supposed to find it? I hear that you're experienced in combat and know your way around the Derelicts. Start looking for leads, get into the bridge section of each derelict you go to, and try to find something that could contain useful information. Anything that hasn't been corrupted by the millennia those ships have drifted in space. Not every derelict necessarily provides needed information, but with enough data from the derelicts, our researchers can put together the location of the mothership. I can do that. Where do I start? Consider getting some contracts from the lair to help keep your expeditions profitable, and head to the shuttle bay to depart to one of the recently discovered derelicts. How about my team? Does the offer concern them too? Yes, your entire team is granted with the same privileges, should you find the mothership. Tell me more about contracts. All sorts of people have developed an interest in the derelicts. They offer contracts for scavengers to perform various assignments. Completing them will grant you credits, and credits, of course, will help you sustain yourself during the search for the mothership. As the sub-governor, my job is not to keep track of the contracts. Check the lair if you want to know more. I've heard enough. Report back to me as soon as you find any information about the mothership. Prove yourself worthy, and I'll grant you a broader working permit. If you manage to find and secure the mothership, the citizenship is yours. But bear in mind that you're not the only one I've accepted this offer. Act quickly, scavenger. The station. We'll prepare for our missions here. We can pick up freelance contracts at the lair. There's good money in them. Should also check the pawn shop for useful items, and to sell anything we're not using. Blah blah blah, there's more information there, but I'm now off the screen. Alright everyone, welcome to the hub. This is going to feel a little similar to Star Crawlers, at least this area here. Let's go ahead and visit all the locations so that you can see them. Come on in! Weapon cores, mods, gear, we got it all. Got some hot stuff you need to move quickly? No problem. This guy will buy any stuff that you want to sell him. In this case, we don't have much to start with, and he sells some items as well. The items for sale will generally be around your level, give or take one or so. In this case, as you can see, most of our stuff is level 1. Hey, I saw a level 3 item for half a second. Level 3 shield core. Generally, the higher level the item, the more powerful the mods are on it, and the more damage it will do if it's a weapon. Alternatively, the more stat points or shields it will possess if it's a shield, the more mental or scavenging, depending upon if it's a tool, etc., etc. The shop also sells miscellaneous stuff that you can use during your adventure. For example, we could buy an energy cell if we want more energy while we're out there. I generally like starting with a power generator in our inventory, so we're going to purchase one of these. And I think it might be helpful to actually also purchase a medium energy cell in case things go really wrong very quickly. Most of the stuff you do will be done through your PDA, by the way. Here we're able to access our characters, see their cards, their stats, and all their equipment. The different classes have different cards available to them based on the class, as I mentioned, and the equipment that they start with. Most classes have 4 slots for different pieces of gear. Twitch the Scrapper is starting with an assault ranged weapon. a power glove, a tool, and a shield core. Our mercenary has a heavy ranged weapon, a tool, and a shield core, but he is lacking, or she is lacking, one slot. And Patches, our medic, is starting with a spread weapon, a tool, two tools, and a shield core. Nothing locks you, by the way, into using two tools of the same type, in this case medical tools. We could give Patches a weapon tool. In fact, we could swap the tools around and give this scavenger tool to Patches if we wanted to, and give this tool over here to Pulsar. But generally, you want to give them tools that they benefit from. By looking at their stats, we can see Pulsar would benefit from a weapon tool or a scavenging tool, whereas Patches benefits from medical, tech, or mental. These weapon systems also have empty slots underneath of them. These are reserved for mods in your weapons or tool slots. When we find them, you'll get to see me use them. You can see all their stats down over here as well as their life and shield totals. As for the cards, most of these are based on the equipment that our characters have. The only cards that these classes are starting with are 2 in their starting skill. Twitch here is a scrapper, so he gets 2 dirty punches at the start of the game. Pulsar has 2 blasting charges, and Patches has 2 adrenaline boosters. Alright, I think that covers this for the most part. Actually, I guess we'll take a look at these. I'll hover over these really quickly so you get an idea of how the game is going to work. The damage that you see listed here is based on the weapon that we have equipped that affects them. Heavy Strike is doing 7 damage because it does 110% of weapon damage, and our Power Glove does 6. Our Single Shot does the damage that our Assault Weapon does. Burst Fire is doing less because of the damage the card does is less. The symbols on here try to quickly show you what this does. In this case, I can see that Craft Supply draws a card by the green symbol, and also it has Energize 1, or at least it Energize because of the Lightning Bolt symbol. Alright, well, that's inventory. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the lair. Welcome to the lair. Believe it or not, this is the entertainment center of the station. We sell drinks to soothe the pain, and we keep track of open contracts, if pain is your thing, dear. There is no reason why you shouldn't take all the contracts. You're going to eventually run into being able to complete these out on the Derelicts, and they all give you extra cash upon completing them. So, we have Paylor, documents please. The Office of Parsimony and Toil is looking for Salome, an individual who has repeatedly failed to return the required documents. The trail has led to the Palar and a Parson T droid has been dispatched. Find her and force her to complete the necessary documents or help the Parson T droid to locate her. An appropriate reward will be given upon contract completion. 900 credits if we're successful. Here at Honest Hank's Scrap Palace, we're always looking to buy good parts for fair prices. Bring us 3 intact T-model janitor robot parts, and we'll compensate you more than fairly. 720 upon completion. Daredevil Jill the Human Cannonball is performing one of her latest stunts at a derelict. However, her assistant abandoned her prematurely, and she needs a new one as soon as possible to finish her stunt. I, Slank, purveyor of fine substances, need you to get me 5 wormling intestines. Now I know what you're thinking, he's making wormine, has to be. Untrue. These are for my cutting-edge research paper on wormling diets. Honest. So I'll pay you handsomely, almost too much, for 5 intestines. Think about it, yeah? Here, you can also hire mercs, if you're unhappy with your team and want to hire someone new. I'll be honest with you guys about this, there's almost never any reason to hire anyone different. And you're almost always better off just resurrecting the people that you've taken earlier rather than hiring someone new. You're not going to be mix and matching squads. There's not enough experience from my recollection in the game to do this. You're going to stick with the people you've got. As you level up, the mercs here though will be leveling up right along with your character. So when you're level 7, the mercs here will also be level 7. I suppose if you really end up hating one of the characters that you selected, you could swap them out for someone different instead if you don't like the inventor and want to hire a scrapper instead. But you're probably better off just restarting the game at that point. Oh, a customer. Welcome to my workshop. I've got plenty of useful upgrades for scavengers and travelers alike. I promise you won't find these things anywhere else in Deep Sky. So this gentleman here sells upgrades that affect you on a passive level for your whole group while they're out adventuring. Or some upgrades actually here inside the base as well. Scans, you can increase their range, how long they last, how much vision your group has, and possibly detect traps with these as well. So we will see me using these scans when we get into a derelict. Just know that over here, you should be trying to upgrade these on occasion in order to keep your team current and to give them a real edge when exploring the derelicts. Crafting is also here too, but we will look at crafting a little later. We'll look at craft. I'll talk about it very quickly. To do crafting, you must have an item of the appropriate type and have that item not equipped. For example, see how, well actually I can't show you because I don't have an extra assault ranged weapon, but if we had an assault ranged weapon in our inventory, we could unlock this, and then we would be able to craft future assault ranged weapons if we desired, and mods for them as well. There's more to it than just that though, but we'll cover crafting later. Here at Deep Sky Medical, we can patch up any physical wounds, traumas, and even revive those who have fallen. However, treatment is expensive, so try to keep your limbs and organs intact. Characters who receive hit point damage will be able to heal it here. Characters who are dead can also be revived here as well, or rather knocked unconscious, I suppose. You can also pick up implants here to increase your character's stats. The cost of the implant is shown down here, along with the effect it will give you. You can only have one implant at the start of the game, but you're able to unlock the ability to take a second through the research workshop. Station Hall is where you can talk to the governor after you find a astrosphere on a derelict, or fail to find one sometimes. You'll be able to come back here and he will give you experience points for your attempt, and he will also unlock new derelicts for you to explore. Hello! I'll be your pilot today. Ah, you're one of the sub-governor's new scavengers, so you've got unlimited free flights. Check out the destinations on the star map, choose a suitable one, and off we go. I guess at some point this used to cost money, but it no longer does. Of the details you see here, you want to pay special attention to everything you see below. The level will indicate the level of the enemies you're going to be fighting in this area. You generally want to stick with your level or lower. The mass is a hint as to how big the location is. Status: a location can have several ongoing different types of status effects, which will make your adventure more difficult, or easier, depending. Over areas which are a little too tough, or rather that the game is hinting that it might be beyond you, will have a exclamation mark like this on it. A red version of this means it will be very difficult for you, and you may want to consider going someplace else first. I have no idea about the cookies. I think it's just some free cookies. They don't do anything for you. And you never refill your energy too much. Oh, actually, maybe you do on the trip over there, just in case you forgot. But you can also... No, that must not work. There's no way this does anything. Because you have to pay for your energy refill back in town. Unless this actually costs money if you do go back out there. I never noticed it before. We'll take a look later. Alright, so it's costing us no money to go to Uncle. Let's go ahead and get going. Okay, here we are. Return here and contact me when you're ready to go back out to the base. Be safe out there, guys. Check our PDA so we know where we're going. Sure thing, Pulsar. Scan and reveal the surrounding area so we know what we're walking into. we should investigate any points of interest first. Okay, everyone. So, here is our derelict. It's a pretty small one. This is, of course, this is the first one. So, areas that we have seen will be explored like this. Areas that we have not seen will be small squares instead. We can see that to reach this square, for example, we can go up here, here, and then here. You cannot move diagonally around corners, but you can move diagonally in open space like this. The area that you are located in has the target. That, right there, that socket, indicates that this is a landing zone. Most derelicts will have another landing zone somewhere in them. In fact, I think all of them have at least one more. Over here are all your various energy cells and what have you. This is a quick access, basically. So this way it saves you time instead of bringing up your inventory clicking on the item. You can get a decent readout, a summary on your characters over here on their current shields and life totals. This is how much energy that you have. And it also, as you can see, if we hover over it, it shows us how much we have in energy cells should we run out. Every action that you do out here in a derelict consumes energy. Walking consumes energy. Combat requires energy for every character during every round. Scanning takes energy. If you run out of energy completely and have no cells able to replenish it, game over. Your characters suffocate to death out here in the derelict. Be sure that you get back to the landing zone and head back on over to the starport in order to replenish your energy. On that note, always make sure you have enough money to replenish your energy, because if you don't, you're going to be deleting this campaign and starting a new one. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start with a scan. Our scanning area is 2 spaces, and it will cost us 50 energy to do the scan. Upon scanning, we have revealed more area. This area is also known to us, I believe. I think. I don't know for sure if it's known to us. I guess we'll find out as we start moving. We have detected something interesting here, but we don't know what it is. Thus we see a question mark. It's probably quest related. Let's go there. You come upon a hermit looming over a severed robotic hand. The hermit is examining something and doesn't seem to notice you. What are you holding there? You get a brief glimpse of the item before the hermit notices you and covers it. It seemed like a small metallic object. Mine! Mine it is! You go, and find your own things to admire. How about you give it to me, and I'll give you something in return? You have something? Something to trade for my marvel? Let's offer a small energy cell. Oh, yes. Energy things always useful. Shiny. Give, here, give. Take. Now go. There are several ways that you can do the various quests that you find out here on the derelict. Some of them you must do if you want the astrosphere. An astrosphere is an item that we're looking for, which has information about the location of the mothership. You'll need to get it from every single derelict that you visit, or at least make the attempt. If you cannot get the astrosphere, it's because you've exhausted all the options, and or they've led you down the path such that you arrived, but it wasn't there, and the game will explicitly tell you in your mission log to go back to the sub-governor if you can't find the astrosphere on that derelict. There's an empty space here. I'm gonna make the assumption that there's nothing that useful in it. That might be a giant mistake. And we are already 1/10 of our energy down. Keep an eye on our energy reserves. If it runs out, all systems in our suits will cease functioning. Thank you, Patches. These areas have something you can salvage. Loot! Excellent! Check for any equipment mods. Better gear is always helpful. Remember, the PDA's inventory tab lists all the mods and scrap we've collected. This is just junk. It'll be worth a tiny bit of money. Do you see how this area is still lit up? When you scan, the area that you scan remains visible to you for a very limited amount of time. You can upgrade that length of time by taking upgrades inside the research center, or equipping certain types of gear, or using a certain types of item instead. The power generator, for example, keeps everything within 3 squares of it revealed, and everything you do within that area costs no energy. A new shield core. Let's take a look at that, shall we? This shield core has 26 max shields, so 2 higher than what our characters are starting with. It offers 3% evasion, which is nice, and also adds another 4% to your max shields. Notice that this shield, this barrier here, has 2 cards in it, 2 self-recharges. This shield has no such thing. Instead, it has cloaking. Just like any card game of this sort, you will need to remember what cards you are adding to your deck. You want to have a nice variety of useful cards, both defensive and offensive, for your characters to use, depending upon their class, and also make sure that your deck is not too cluttered, or if it is, at least that you have the options to draw through that deck in order to keep cards coming into your hand every round of combat. You will see more about this as we continue to play. You'll note that most of the game, by the way, is accessed through the PDA. We'll spend more time looking at this screen than we will the screen we were just on. Oh, well, that was a dead end. Some sort of encounter and more scrap. Another shield core, and a medical/tech tool. Let's take a look at that. So this tool has both tech and medical stats on it. It offers stun resistance and +1 scan range. It also comes with 2 razor nets as an upgrade. Why don't we go ahead and give that an equip? 7 medical could be nice. When we scan now, instead of just 2 spaces, by the way, we will now scan for 3 spaces. You find a robotic assembly unit. Appropriate ID missing. Access denied. Oh, we're not interacting with that yet. Massive cannons occupy the room. A weak personal signal emanates from one of the cannons, and the gunnery console seems active. Let's examine the cannon. You approach the cannon, and then... Peekaboo! I'm Jill, the human cannibal. Care to send me to my orbit? My assistant got chased away by a grumpy military droid, and I've been stuck here ever since. How can I help? Need a rocket to ride. Also, I need you to finish the scan to get me the vessel. Could you do that for me? Alright, scanning. Make me a shooting star. Jill climbs back into the cannon, and you finish the scan. Alright, we've calibrated the cannon. Now we just need a rocket for her. Finally, some progress. We can monitor our active missions in the PDA under the Mission Log tab. What I do like about the game, by the way, is that we're in an area where it said there were cannons, and there are cannons here. The backgrounds are... I like the look of this very much. I think they did a good job with the artwork for this game. you find a functional console. It is awaiting for your command. Most derelicts that I have been on have at least one of these. These consoles will all be the same. They can recharge some of your energy for you, let you scan the area surroundings for free, and they will unlock an area. The unlocked area generally contains the astrosphere. Recharge your energy. Recharging your energy supply. Procedure complete. 0 energy left in storage. Scan the surrounding area for us. Surrounding area scanned. Unlock area. Area lockdown lifted. As you can see, if you've been to a spot before and it was important, you will remember what was there. Oh, that might be a fight, our first one. It's a static fight, not a wandering group as well, I see, if it is a fight at all. You find a group of shocklings consuming part of an ancient droid. As they see you approach, electric sparks start flying out of their bodies. Energy reserves are good. We can fight without worry. If they're not, we'll need to be worried. Alright, so the enemy had greater initiative, so they got to go first. You can click on a creature. Wait, are these level 7? No, this is the turn order they're going in. Okay. We can see their level here, their hit points, as well as any special effects that they have. We can see that this shockling has 3 combat cards in his hand, but we don't know what they do. If you have certain types of characters, and with certain types of modifications, you might actually be able to see what cards they have in their hand. Otherwise, it might be useful to try to remember what it is that you've seen the creatures do, because they'll be doing it again. Similar to us, creatures' cards are dependent upon what they are. Shocklings in particular, their bites have a small chance of penetrating your shield and damaging you directly, and their shock attacks drain more shield than most normal attacks do. They inflict an extra 50% damage. And this is awkward. So, Pulsar here has been overloaded. You can come here to the Codex and go to the glossary to read about all the different types of status effects which occur during the game. But I can summarize Overload for you. For 2 turns, Pulsar is not allowed to draw any cards. She's going to have to just use the card she has in her hand, or she can try doing it Improvise. Improvise, as you can see, lets you draw 3 cards from the environment deck. You'll choose one to play. It costs you 15 energy, though, to do this. I think we'll try a Blast Charges. Destroys cover, does 7 damage to 2 adjacent enemies. Does extra 2 damage affected if the unit's cover was destroyed. These guys don't have cover, so I think we'll toss it over here because these guys have less evasion on them. Oh, nice, and we killed one. Patches is up next. Let's look at what he has. So he has Razor Nets. These will prevent one of these from... It does a tiny bit of damage each turn, and it stops them from moving. They cannot play any melee attack cards. Pacify will stop something from attacking altogether. It basically stuns it for 1 round. That's not what it does. It prevents them from using attack cards for 1 turn. And then there's Adrenaline Booster. An ally will draw 1 card and also gain +1 initiative. No, I'm saying the wrong things. This lets them gain Energize 1. Energize allows that unit to take a 2nd action during its turn. It also gains +1 initiative for 1 turn. In this case, I think I want to pacify this guy. Because I don't want him actually attacking. And I think, assuming we can hit him, we can probably kill this guy. Let's have Twitch use a burst fire. Since this guy has evasion, trying to hit him more often is more likely to pay out for us. This way, if he evaded one of our attacks, we still have, for example, 2 others that we might be able to do. The Shockling could not attack, thus it passes its turn, and next turn, it will get an extra action. Pulsar, but we charge some of her shields. We'll pacify it again. And we'll try another burst fire. Pulsar does, let's use Marker Blast, I haven't seen this one before. Does 50% weapon damage, applies minus 50% evasion for 2 turns, and it's accurate. What that means is that it cannot miss the target. I am more interested in that minus 50% evasion, though. She gets another combat card, but she doesn't have any, so she cannot do another action. Oh, I should have read about that. Sorry, everyone. We won! Awesome. Hey, 1/3 of a level. After defeating the Shocklings, you find what you assume to be a half of a strange object. If we go to our inventory, we see that we have these 2 parts of a strange object. We can't combine or anything like that, but these, I tell you right now, these will be used to get the Astrosphere. At the end of each combat, your character's shields are restored entirely. A Universal's tool. These were newly added in one of the expansions. They didn't exist originally. They tend to pull from every type of card when they get generated. In this case, this is giving +2 to all skill levels, 5% damage resistance, and 3 weaponry. It comes with this card, which I haven't seen before. Self or ally, plus 50% mental damage and 100% mental resistance for 2 turns. We don't have anyone who has a mental damaging card to my knowledge, so we'll just hold on to this and end up selling it, I suspect. Holy crap, we discovered a new landing zone. We actually walked into it. Let's move one down. Incessant meatbags soil the purity vassal. Stagger. Stagger makes it so that you will discard a number of cards equal to the value on Stagger. So Patches lost a card. This is a janitor bot. They have a very annoying vacuum shot ability, which causes Stagger up to Stagger 4 on us. They do decent damage and have their razor blades can cause bleeding effects if they actually manage to get through our shields. The bot here generally is hard to hit. Headbutt has Stagger, and they have another ability, Shield Sap, which drains our shield and gives it to them. Let's start by using, I think, because you have evasion, you have 8% evasion. Let's use Marker Blast in order to take away half of that. Oh, we get to go again, right. Alright, Pulsar, let's use Blasting Charges then. Oh! It's not minus 50% of whatever evasion it had. It's minus 50% evasion, period. A flat number. So it can't dodge at all. Now, unfortunately for Patches, nothing here is a living target, so we'll use Adrenaline Booster instead. Twitch now has an extra card he can play this round. Let's start with a dirty punch. And then a burst fire? Now, Pulsar... Oh, not Pulsar, sorry. Let's see. 75 weapon damage to 2 adjacent enemies. Oh, nice. This should kill them? Oh, we actually got some treasure from that fight. 0 ice particle. It's just some scrap. It's basically just vendor junk. For making really cold drinks, or can be used in masse as a coolant in compatible systems. Let's go ahead and give a scan down here now. Ah... Do you see those red squares? Those are wandering enemies. They will move around as they look for us. We probably want to take a look at both of those things, too. 3 enemies here. And down here, 2. Fragile organics detected. Beam weapons activated. Oh, okay, so it looks like Headbutt has a chance to stagger, or alternatively disable some type of card. I wonder if the cards it might be random cards that are disabled. Yep, just random cards are disabled. Okay, so in the case of Patches, he lost Pacify. In the case of Twitch, he lost his ranged combat option. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start with Craft Supply. Pulsar draws 3 cards, chooses one of them, and then the others are discarded. Let's take Marker Blast. That card also gave her Energize, so she can play another card. We'll take away that one's Evasion, and then I think we'll use Wide Blasting. Let's Choke Shot. So, Patches is using a shotgun. Shotguns generally don't do as much damage as other types of weapons. A spread weapon is affected by the spread of the bullets it's being used. I can't see the gun on this screen, but all shotguns will distribute their damage separately amongst all adjacent enemies when fired. In this case, though, it looks like Choke Shot, that minus 35% shot spread, is making it so that it actually does not cause any type of scattering damage. When you destroy an enemy, the others will move adjacent to each other. There's no space between them, so we can still benefit from using AoEs. We'll take a... Ooh, I want to bash. Minus 5 initiative if this strikes. Alright, Pulsar. Let's see if we can get something that's an AoE. Actually, we'll take a Marker Blast instead. We can use this on this bot. Take away its evasion, and then a single blast. And a scatter shot. Nice. This should kill them? Yep. So in this case, this has increased shot spread. And because of that, it will do, as you can see, the adjacent damage that you note here. That was a really weird way to say you can see how much damage it does by seeing the numbers on the screen. Oh, hey, a new spread weapon, level 2, and a level 1 weaponry tool. Okay, well, let's take a look at these. So, that seems like that would be beneficial. Probably to Pulsar. She would lose both craft supplies out of her inventory. She'd gain 7 weaponry, lose the 2 scavenging she has because of that tool. Gain a little bit more damage and a slightly more critical damage bonus. Let's take it. Reload would be useful to her because it draws her 2 weaponry cards. As for the scatter weapon, well, this was better than what you're currently using, I think. Something else you need to consider when giving someone cards, a new weapon, or anything actually, is the number of cards being added to their deck. We're going to gain 1 point of damage. The shotgun's spread is slightly less. This does extra shield damage, has 2 tech with it, and has 1 more scatter shot. Instead of choke shot, it also has point blank shot, which does even more damage than choked. And basically, it says that your weapon does not have any type of shot spread. Getting a level 2 weapon on the level 1 quest, though, that's really nice to get that. Soldier, an alien vessel has been detected in the perimeter of this ship. You serious? I know. You think this worn-out, rusty joke of a spacecraft is only good at being a target for suicidal asteroids. But guess what, soldier? It's a hell of a killer. Prepare to missile and destroy that ship. This ID tag gives you access to the munitions manufacturer, Gobarb. Now, for the love of interstellar conflicts, go! Resistant goop, a sticky substance that creates a resistant but temporary layer when spread on a surface. Crew received +1 armor in combat for the next 20 turns when used. Armor reduces the damage you take by an equal amount. Very useful, especially for early on. The low-level characters really benefit from +1 armor. So this is what we needed to bring to Gobarb. Let's go ahead and go there. Welcome, Officer Tarek. Assembly at your service. Operate it. Good work, Patches. Commencing operation. Alert! Power pressure unit overheating. Quick manual relocation to energy streams needed. Executing now. Patches succeeded in a tech challenge. You barely managed to relocate the energy streams, causing severe damage to the user interface unit. The resulting rocked model is determined by the assembly, not you. The machine hums for a while, then turns silent. Production has been delivered to the cannon. Oh, we can scroll up? Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, how about that? Okay, it looks like it worked, but we have managed to disable Gobarb from any future manufacturing. Okay, everyone, let's talk to Jill. We have the rocket delivered now here for her. We do have a choice. Well, actually, you'll see that choice in a few seconds. Let's talk to her. Hurry up! I need the fly. Operate the console. You fiddle with the console's interface. Access granted. Rocket ready for ignition. Fire the cannon. Fire! The rocket launches from the cannon successfully. Wondering what happened to the rocket, you decide to return to Tarek. We're running very low on energy, but I think we have enough to see this to completion before we have to head back to base. You moron! You let the ship get away by shooting a hollow missile. Why? I don't kill innocent people. We're in the middle of a war. Nobody's innocent. Everybody's guilty. Ah, heck, I've had enough of the corpse. I'm retiring. So long. Thanks for nothing. Tarek disappears. Not long after, you receive a transmission. Jill here. Made it safely to my ship. Thanks a million times. You've got a bunch of creds waiting back at the station. End of transmission. Alright, everyone. Well, let's head on back to the station then. Hello. Something on your mind? What we're seeing here is a random event. These were newly added in the Station Life DLC for the game. Normally, you would never see anyone else here, or there wouldn't be any random encounters. Most of the encounters, from what I've seen, are traders who will offer you another option to purchase various types of equipment. Know anything special? Not that comes to mind, no. Care to trade? So this is what she has on her. She has a level 3 shield core mod, a bunch of garbage that we don't need, and resistant goop. I think we'll be fine with everything that we... Oh! That we have? Aren't these normally... These are normally a lot more money. Holy crap, these are very expensive to purchase. Well, I'm not interested in purchasing any of her random junk, and she's not selling me anything I think I really need. This might be the only thing I'm interested in, but I don't know if this is cheaper even for sale back at the pawn shop, so we don't need anything. You can see down here, by the way, this is how much credits she has on her to purchase stuff. But this doesn't really matter, because we can always purchase for... The pawn shop has an unlimited amount of money on them. Anything else on your mind? I got to go. Let's visit the lair, and go ahead and complete the quest. We still, however, have not leveled. Back here, you can see that you can fill your energy reserves by paying 77 credits. I'm just curious, everyone. Ah, okay. And as long as this is checked, you will automatically refill it on the way back to where you last visited. I guess checking this will disable that option. Alright, well, let's go ahead and sell all the junk that we picked up. And I know I don't need a whole lot of these, but I'm going to want to hold on to at least one of each, so we can unlock crafting. Why don't we go ahead and see about doing that? Actually, can I save the game? So, we have a spread ranged weapon. If I click on this, because we have a spread ranged weapon in our inventory, I can unlock this. And now, in the future... Oh, no, I see. I must at least do it once. There we go. That weapon has now been disabled. We can't sell it any longer. But from now on, we've learned how, or rather this guy, has learned how scattered weapons actually get created. And we can go ahead and create any one of these in the future that we wish. We can also create specific mods, or rather, mods unique to a spread weapon here as well. As long as we're doing this, let's go ahead and unlock a shield core. We'll unlock this one, but disassemble this one. I think we have... Yep, we have a universal tool. We have a medical tool. Let's get one of them as well. And that is it. That is all the stuff I've got. Let's look at the pawn shop and see if he's selling anything I might be interested in. Early on, 692 bucks, that is a significant investment on a very early item, and I generally do not purchase things early on. That's actually a really nice weapon. Tool. 1 craft supply, 9 weaponry. I think we'll be okay, though. We don't have a precision weapon, so that's not going to be useful. Oh my, holy grenades! Wow. Well, if you wanted grenades, this would be amazing for you. 5 grenade cards. I don't think I've ever seen so many on a ranged weapon mod. This mod doesn't have anything except grenades. And even though, don't mistake, by the way, everyone, even though it says level 1, This could still be really useful if you had an explosive expert, for example. That's a upgrade you can take later on for one of your characters. They would really benefit from this type of card. This is actually really tempting to purchase. Like, incredibly tempting. That's nice too. I think we'll be okay at the moment. Let's instead buy more miscellaneous supplies. So we'll buy another power generator. There's other equipment as well. Scavenging kits allow you to disarm traps that you actually manage to walk into without setting off. They can also be used to clear debris, saving you a little bit of credit, actually a lot of energy, which might translate into an equal amount of credits spent on the scavenging kit. Field treatment kits are used to heal you in the field. The extraction beacon could also be useful, but I don't want to spend too much money on this stuff. Let's buy another power generator. And I think we will buy the field treatment kit. Actually, no. It's too early for one of those. We'll be fine. We'll be fine with what we have. And we'll hold off buying stuff until we can get some higher level equipment. That one grenade mod is very tempting, but we'll be okay. Now, Pulsar did take a tiny bit of damage. We'll go ahead and heal that bit of damage, and she'll be okay. And we'll fly back over here and allow the services to refill our energy for us. Since we found another landing zone, we are allowed to choose the landing zone that we wish to start in. We'll choose this one. They really want me to click on mission log once. Let's go ahead and do this. We can see which ones are active down here, along with any of the steps that we've done, if there are steps to get them done over here. Okay, let's head on down this way. Shalak no Shaya Oniga. Alright. Cobra Guards. These girls are very vicious. They're, well, you'll see. So let's start with blasting charges. I think we'll pacify one of them. Now, that stops her from playing attack cards. Okay. If she had a card that wasn't an attack card, she could still use it. In fact, I should have checked. Alright, all they have is attack cards. Let's use a bash to lower this one's initiative. I want to kill her first because I don't want her playing 2 cards on her turn if I can avoid it. I don't know if we will be able to kill her though. Ah, just barely, but we can do it. Oh, nice! And we can kill her by attacking this one instead for more damage. Ooh, puncture. So that card had a puncture ability on it, and it allowed her to damage. There's a chance, and that chance succeeded, and it went through his shields, directly hitting his life. Feel more experienced. have a look at the crew tab on the PDA. See if we can unlock some new abilities. We've gained a precision weapon. That's not useful to us. Well, it could be. We could give that to Patches instead of a scatter weapon. But I like my medics generally having scatter weapons. We'll probably just vendor that. And we have a level 3 mental tool mod. I think this is our first mod. So this is interesting because, well, this is a mental tool. We have some abilities on some abilities. We have a little bit of charisma on Patches to help him with mental abilities. But we're probably not going to want to give him Taunt, which is what Draw Fire is. I would probably want that on someone who is a bit more tanky. Or Evadey. Maybe Twitch would have that. But that means dropping his Scavenger's Kit for a mental tool instead. I'm not really comfortable with that either. In any case, our characters did level up, so let's go ahead and do that. So, we have 3 ability points at level 1. Actually, I think, yeah, most abilities can be leveled more than once. Every time we take a point in Dirty Punch, we get a slightly better card, and we gain access to more of them. I generally like improving these cards. I at least will improve it one more time. At level 2, he's unlocked these 2 other abilities. Max level in the game, by the way, is level 10. What happens if I raise this one? We go from +1 initiative to +2. It's 4 and 12. I'm really tempted just to level Dirty Punch all the way to start. Although initiative could be really useful for him to go first in order to hit people with Dirty Punch. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's put a point in let's put 2 points in Dirty Punch and 1 point into suit modifications. Done. We can't undo that. That choice was permanent. Now, you'll note we have 4 Dirty Punches now. Let's say that we thought that was too many Dirty Punches. You can lower the amount of cards that these abilities grant you by clicking on this little symbol here. That means take it away, and this one means add more, like, you know, minus and plus. Apply to have it take effect. You can re-add them again later if you wish. I think we'll keep 3 of them on us at the moment. Pulsar can take more points into blasting charges. Oh, that's interesting. So transmuting is when you take a piece of scrap or something that you don't want. You can right-click on it, and you can turn it into energy. I almost never do that. If I was desperate, I would. I have to, obviously, but it's almost never worth doing. Energy cells gives 10% more energy, but I tend not to actually need more energy. What's the second rank of this? 24 and 20. No, I think we'll avoid. I don't think we'll take any expert energy extraction. And that's useful because that means I can spend these on other cards instead. What I find interesting about blasting charges is that we won't run into too many enemies that actually use cover. In fact, I can think of only one off the top of my head that does so. I think we won't put any points into blasting charges. Or at least not at the moment. Yeah, let's take 3 points in mining veterancy instead. For extra weaponry and scavenging. Oh, nice, and her damage went up on these now because of that, I think. 1 point, because her weaponry got increased that much. As for you, Patches... I think, at least 1 point in adrenaline. So let's take a look at it. What's the difference? So the ally can spend more cards from their hand for longer. They get an extra turn for 2 turns. And the initiative lasts longer. So I think we want at least one of those. Oh, no, I'm sorry. At level 1, it's still... Hold on. Let's undo this. So at rank 2, it's +3 initiative. I think we'll grab at least 1 point here. Actually, let's grab 2 points in regenerative suit as well. Maybe one of each. He'll gain a little more medical skill. He'll gain 1 initiative, and he heals very slightly. And adrenaline booster is a little more useful. We'll also take away 1 of those cards. I only need 2 of them at this point. All right, let's keep going. Extraneous matter sighted. Cleanse it with laser fire. Okay, well, let's start with wild blasting. Actually, do these guys have armor? They do. Oh, these all affect armor. Then let's use wide blasting to get both of their shields down. We'll try a razor net on one of them. Which one? They all have just attack cards. Stagger. Oh, was that stagger 5? Let's try a heavy strike to stun this one. A stunned opponent just skips their turn. Let's single blast to get this one's armor down. And a scatter shot won't kill it. I like to make sure he doesn't get a chance to attack. Excruciating agony for you. Just one of you? You're not higher level either. I don't see this going well for you, sir. Pacify him to keep him attacking for a round. Take away that point of armor he had. And then kill him. Level 1 scavenging mental tool. I think that's an item I want. Oh, and it was Twitch who I gave the... Wait, was it Twitch I gave the thing to? Or did I give charismatic to you? I gave it to Patches. Okay. So let's go ahead and swap this out for this tool. medical is nice. But I do want some more mental. I should get used to using mental cards on patches, so we'll use this. Oh, that adds a new type of card to him. Universal Cursing. 80% chance to apply Confuse for 1 turn. The enemy may pass their turn, or may decide instead to play a random card from their hand. And they have a 25 miss chance for 2 turns. Oh, but it does cause Taunt. I don't think I want Taunt on my medic, so on second thought, we'll go ahead and re-put this back on. Level Tool. Level Tool, Level 2 Tool. Prismatic Crystals. This increases all weapon damage by 10% for 10 turns. And another Tech and Medical tool. Shield Leech 33% and Overload 1 on all attacks for 3 turns. That's nice. So the ally would would regain some of their shields. But I think I prefer... Oh, I don't really need the Razor Nets. What else do we have a choice of? Yeah, this combined with this would be very nice for someone. But, well, that someone would have to have a lot of mental, and I don't have a character who has that. Oops, wrong button, Tim. So I think everyone, when I record a video of this, I will record an entire Derelict. That means early on, they'll take about an hour or 2. Later on, they'll take like 4. That was a mod, wasn't it? So, clicking on one of these will filter your inventory and show you only items that would go into that slot. So, we could attach an energy manipulator to this tool. It would give Patches 4 more tech, and also give him those 2 abilities. Remove 100% of maximum shields for 2 turns for shield manipulation and energy field. 100% energy efficiency, and plus 15% damage resistance for 3 turns. Useful. I don't know if I want these 2 cards in his inventory, though. So we won't put them in at the moment. Vorlenos di Naga. Let's go, Cobra Guards. You cannot win. So, what cards do you have? Twitch, Bash, and Dirty Punch. Yeah, you know what? I think I want those being used. Let's use Adrenaline Booster on you. We'll use a Bash on one of the guards to get her initiative down. And we'll apply a mischance on the other one. I guess we'll use blasting charges. Almost killed them both. A scatter shot should do the trick. A lot of AoE in this group. A level 1 scavenging mental tool. We'll take a look at that. And a weapon tech tool. Oh, we also get a power glove mod. Let's take a look at that one in particular. So that is used for a power glove, which is exactly what Twitch has. Can only be used with this weapon. And what does this do? Does 120% weapon damage, 20% chance to puncture when damaging health. Bleed 33% for 3 turns. Nice. I like all that stuff. So, this now adds that card to Twitch's total. Plan and hide. Let's take a look at that on you, maybe. So, oh, well, this is mental and scavenging, so I don't know if we want this. Hide could be useful, though, but we'd have to place it onto patches. You give him a little bit of scavenging, which we don't really care about. Some mental, which could be nice. Plan lets him draw 1 card and energize 1 on the next turn. And hide could be useful because it makes him invisible for a little bit in case he gets picked on. Let's give him this. Oh, we are in a special section of the ship. This section has a special ongoing passive effect. In this case, it's Energy Surge. Everyone who fights in this area will gain +1 card on their turns and have a 25% chance to play an extra card on their turn. There's a group of people here on the ship as well. Let's visit them. Somebody came. Somebody finally actually came. Tell me, did you bring me my little delivery? Are these what you've been waiting for? Yes, yes! No more envy. No more yearning for fulfillment. Finally, the requested coordinates from the mothership have arrived. It took so long I nearly forgot what I was actually looking for. Did I just deliver you the location data? Affirmative. This ship, specifically I, lost the link to the mothership, so we had to resort to this very archaic method of mechanical information delivery, which is all I practically remember. I don't even know what to do with this information. Coordinates, mothership. I repeat these words, but don't know what they mean. Feels like I'm lost inside my own hardware. You can have these coordinates if you wish. They're of no use to me anymore. Before I download them, can you tell me what caused this disruption? Don't remember anything about it either. It's like I've forgotten what it means to be. I feel empty. Pointless. See you around. Okay, everyone. That's what we needed from this ship, but we'll still explore the rest of it. We could get some more things. Now keep in mind, this status effect applies to us and the enemy, so we could take a ton of damage here very quickly if we're not careful. Let's use an adrenaline. Actually, let's look at what Pulsar has. And Twitch. Let's give Twitch an adrenaline booster. Twitch is up. And I think we'll use a craft supply first. I wouldn't mind having another dirty punch. Let's take another craft supply and use that one. And we'll start dirty punching them. And the other as well. We'll Marker Blast, the higher level one. And then Single Blast. The weaker one. can scattershot and kill one of them. Oh, we can't kill one of them. Right, scattershot spreads the damage. Let's hide. Ooh! That critical puncture was that hurt. Oof. Will Ripping Strike her to bleed her? She likes it. Two armor on a scavenging tool. Wow. Let's take that. That might be useful to give that to our... I keep switching out what our medic has. You know, I think I'd rather have the armor than even have Pacify on him at the moment. So we'll take this. Yeah, we'll take this. He'll be about just the adrenaline boosters that his medical is going to affect, as opposed to anything else. Pacify, to my knowledge, medical doesn't... let's see. Oh! Medical does make the duration last longer. Oh. Oh. Well, then let's stick with let's keep some medical stuff on him then. We'll grab Reflex Booster, which gives someone evasion and +7 initiative for 3 turns. I don't really want to give up 2 armor, though. So we'll give this to you. Hello, stranger. What's your business here? Need any help? Help, huh? Here's what we need done. Oh, wow. He has 2 quests for us. New home. Running low on more specialized tools and supplies. If you could bring us some, we'd reward you appropriately. We need to pick up some field treatment kits if we wanted to do that. We need energy cells to reinforce our energy supplies for the case of emergencies and sudden generator shutdowns. We'll pay extra delivery fee for bringing us those cells. We need 3 small energy cells. Is that all? Anything to trade? Okay, here's what we have. Heavy melee weapon mod, level 3, that would be nice. We don't have any energy blades. We do have an assault weapon. I don't think we need that, though. Oh! One of the expansions added Ancient Teachings and another item in the game. Ancient Teachings gives all your characters a permanent random buff, or a benefit, stat increase. One of those 3 that you see there. The other one, which I don't remember the name of, gives you +1 skill point upon using it. So he's got a few nice things. We'll need to remember that he has this, because he'll always have this to my recollection. So if we save 2,500 bucks and we feel like we can spend it, we should come back here to purchase that. I don't see anything else I'm interested in, though. So we can also sell him some stuff, but we don't need to sell him anything. Is that all? Yep, take care, sir. We can attack them if we wish, to get some equipment, and maybe take the things that we saw that he had for sale. But I'm going to view this group as a good group, not necessarily a bad one. Oh, some supplies. Very nice. It wasn't supplies we need to bring back to them, right? No, it was field treatment kits. Okay. We should have just enough energy to get back home. The pawn shop can recharge our energy reserves for a reasonable price. Thanks, Patches, but we can rely on the ship to do so as well. I guess we'll click this button this time. Alright, so let's sell all the junk. And I think I don't need any of this stuff. Oh, actually, we may want... Well, let's take a look. How much is it worth? Yeah, we should probably just sell this stuff. Money's always important, but it's far easier to part with early items in order to get the crafting that they unlock, rather than do it with a later item. We might as well just do it. Let's unlock everything that we can. I'll show you what they're used for a little later, when we have some more cash. Or rather, how crafting works. Okay. Was that everything? I think we can probably sell the rest of these. And then, let us buy the things that they requested. 3 small energy cells. And we'll need 2 of these, but they're only selling 1 at the moment. So we'll need to save up for another one. We took some damage, so we're going to want to heal that. Later on in the game, I would recommend that you keep about 2,000 credits on you in order to full heal and recover someone. It gets very expensive later on as your people begin taking more and more damage. Okay, let's keep going, everyone. Back to the ship. I think. Well, we have money. We could take implants now, if we so wish. Oh, right. You can also respec your characters if you don't like what you've taken. Oh, and for free, I believe, we can modify the people's look. It's either, in the case of the helmet, it's a complete swap. Otherwise, it will be colors. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This lets you swap between all the different types of outfits individually. Let's go with this for our scrapper. It's absolutely free, by the way. There we go. Implants will be very nice and very powerful if I want them now, but I think we'll hold on to our cash for a little longer in that regard, and instead, we'll work on some of these upgrades. Let's give ourselves a little more energy. I also think... wouldn't mind having one more. Let's make it a little cheaper for surgery costs. This will lowers by 25% the costs of adding the implants. And those upgrades are now permanent. We will always forever have them. Okay, we could complete the quest here, but I'll wait until we have the... when we go back to the town, the pawn shop, they'll have another one of those items for sale. Then we'll go visit them and turn in both quests at once. A little more energy efficient. I always try to clear out everything inside a mission before moving on mission. I try clearing out the entire Derelict before I move on to the next one. every spot I want it examined. You'll see that we now have 1,200 energy. By the way, they added these new movement types at some point in the game. We can stealth, which is more expensive for us to move. 15 energy, as opposed to just 10. But stealthing lets you ambush enemies. And an ambushed enemy, you have a chance to surprise them in combat. Actually, since we're being chased, let's show you what that's like. You can critically succeed at your attempt. You can succeed, you can fail, or you can critically fail. We critically succeeded in ambushing these enemies. We've gained the ambush bonus for 2 turns. In this case, as you can see, we gain initiative and extra damage. So let's use Adrenaline Booster on new patches. I think we'll start with a Heavy Strike. Notice that it's 10 energy, it seems, to use an ability. That was dumb. I should have attacked. We have the damage bonus. Always attack Tim. Take advantage of the buffs that you have. And we gain another level 1 tool. Oh, that's a nice... sorry, I was staring at the card this one gives us. Calm the nerves. Purge all negative effects. All negative mental effects. Accurate for 3 turns. That accurate will be very important later on. We'll be fighting enemies who have up to like 80% evasion rating and do a lot of damage to us, and we will want the ability to harm them. Unfortunately, this is on a tool, not a mod, so I'm not going to equip this. We don't need that quite yet. Battles and some loot. Oh, I'm still stealthing. We don't need... I should not stealth unless I'm going to actually ambush them. Okay, Pulsar. That's evasion on a shield. Let's give it to you. You'll gain a little more shield, and you'll gain a tiny bit of evasion as well. We should do both of these battles. 3 enemies, 2 enemies. You see wormlings munching on the stripped remains of a dead looter. One notices you and starts emanating a low-pitched, hostile sound. Pulsar? You can probably kill at least 2 of them. Hey, nice, we're getting some wormling intestines. We need 5 of those to complete that quest. Emanates a low grumbling as it crawls towards us. More left for more money. You want something? Oh, this could be tough. A fight. Yeah, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. You're gonna regret this. An engineer and a bruiser. I don't think I like the cars I'm starting with. Let's see what we have available. I can decide not to take any of these and stick with the cards I have in my hand. Let's try... I don't know what these guys actually have. Nah, I don't need those. Oh! I passed my turn though. Okay, mental note, Tim. That does actually take your turn. Alright, let's start with a wide blasting. And we'll use blasting charges. This guy now has taunt on him, and we must attack him as a target. Let's see if we can stun him. We did not. Alright, then we will... Oh, that's it. Let's use a recharge shield. And more blasting charges. Leeching Strike damages us and heals him. This is a fun fight. We don't have initiative plus energizing +1, Tim. Keep that in mind. What's your... Do you have any... 10%. Let's try another stun. I'm not getting lucky with that. What cards do you have in your hand, Pulsar? Let's use Adrenaline Booster on you. You'll start with a self-recharge to get some shields back. And then, I think we'll start blasting him. Ooh, good critical. Oh, she's dying. He managed to energize. That's very nice. Oh, he evaded that shot. That sucked. That sucks. Only 3% chance. He managed to evade one. We might have killed him actually otherwise. Let's give you some evasion, because you're gonna die otherwise. Let's take away that little bit of evasion he has. Woo! Very lucky. Very lucky. Pulsar, you're gonna die. Let's get your shields recharged. It might be really weird that our medic can't actually heal yet. He won't be able to until level 4 or so. Alright, let's do a blasting charge. We don't really need those any longer. Oh, good critical. Patches, look how many skills you can use. You also energize this turn. Let's use an adrenaline booster over here. Might as well Dirty Punch. Get that accuracy penalty on him. And can we stun him? No, we can't. Woo! We were successful, but holy crap, that was really close. We have some garbage. Level 2 heavy range weapon. Okay, nice. We'll see how good that is for our miner. Another shield core. A level 3 weapon tech tool. A shield mod. We'll take a look at that. A medical mental tool and a light ranged weapon mod. Okay, so most of it we can't use. We are badly hurt, so we need to double back. Let's first take a look at the inventory, though. We always want the stuff that we're picking up. So, shield restoring abilities are more efficient, 5% energy efficiency, but we have to take transfer shields, which I don't know if I care about very much. I guess we'll equip it. 2% evasion. That would be better for you, Pulsar, than your other shield, which is just 24 max shields. Oh, although this one is self-recharge 35%, this will not do that for you. I think I'd rather have the 35% actually, Tim, than 2% evasion. That does the same damage that yours did. It does less health damage, but it has an accurate blast versus wide blasting and marker blast. What does this do? We'll lose marker blast and a wide blasting if I decide that I want a different weapon. No, this is not as good as our current one. If it did one more point of damage, it'd be worth it. Alright, so nothing worth it from them then. That's a tough pill to swallow, because those items are not gonna cover the cost of healing her. Step right up, step right up. I'm here to fulfill all your petty needs. Got more goods than wormlings got family. Scavenger, you want to buy something? Yeah, let me see your wares. He's selling holovids. These are worth extra experience points. This is the item I was thinking of earlier. It's worth 4,000, but it gives every member in your group an extra ability point. That's amazing. Unfortunately, we can't afford any of this, so... At least not the expensive things. Not this time. He's still here, by the way, if you want to talk with him. He'll be here until we go back up on the ship. So... I guess what we should do first is come here, and visit the surgery. If she died, it would have been another 300 credits to resurrect her. Or resurrect. If she fell unconscious, there we go. It would have been 300 bucks to revive her. We should still attempt to unlock any other weapons that we have, that we can unlock. And we can use that heavy ranged weapon to unlock a new one. Oh, that's actually a really useful light ranged weapon. But I don't... Oh, that's a light ranged weapon mod. 2 tracking shots and a purging shot. If I ever want to use a light weapon, this is actually a great one to a mod for it. I like tracking shots because tracking shots make it so that the shot is accurate, and if it hits, all attacks are accurate against that target, and they have an extra 10% critical hit chance. I'm actually going to hold on to that. Ah, okay. Well, I don't want to do that. Alright, everyone, we've almost unlocked all the weapons already. The rest of this, that I want to hold on to, but these things we can sell to make up a little bit of that cash we use to heal. Oh, while we're here, we'll buy another field treatment kit. And then we'll head on back to Uncle again. This has been a really exciting first ship. Holy crap! Okay, as before, we'll start down here. Unauthorized organic matter, switching to combat stance. I thought there was another enemy walking around here. We'll start with a scatter shot, because I can't do anything else. Let's use Marker Blast, because it's a free attack. And then we'll use a single blast. Darn them. Darn them in their 1 armor. Single blast, then. Oh, actually, wild blasting does as much damage. Just barely, not as much. You don't have any AoEs, do you, Twitch? Let's use a dirty punch. Oh, no other cards. These guys aren't... I don't think they're gonna live another round. We'll recharge a shield. They're going next. Let's kill one of them. Still no combat cards on you, sir. Let's see what we get from Improvise. Blinding Fling. I don't know what we did, but it's dead. Let's go ahead and try using Rush. It'll be cheaper for us to move. So it's 67 to move there. On normal, it is 133. But on the way, if we meet an enemy, we'll be automatically ambushed by them. Alright, so we were ambushed, and it looks like you got your weapons disabled. Oh, right, we can't attack for 2 turns. Oh, they critically ambushed us. And we can't flee either. Let's give you a reflex booster. Craft supply. Actually, you have cloaking. I should have checked that first, because you can just hide. Twitch, you can't play combat cards yet, so we just end your turn. When you're finally visible, we'll want you to be able to do things. And you'll be visible next turn? Pulsar does nothing. Oh, you have self-recharges, but they're not going to help you. Let's use Adrenaline Booster on Twitch. He'll get quite a few actions next turn. Oh, does it not stack? I thought it might. Alright, well, let's start. So, Dirty Punch on both of them to make sure that they miss. Or rather, increase the chance that they'll miss. Oh, good critical. Almost killed it. Nice, you can keep going. Oh my god, this is amazing. So much energize. And he bled to death. Okay. That could have gone south really quickly. Good thing we got lucky and we lived. Oh, I'm still rushing. We don't want to do that. Hello, stranger. What's your business here? How about some trading? That's not what I wanted to do, actually. I wanted to do the need any help. So let's complete the energy reserves and the extra supplies. Need anything else? Heard anything interesting? The Naga have been sending forces in increasing numbers to Derelicts in search of something. Could it be that they're also looking for that fabled mothership? Oh, maybe they are. That's one mission completed. Contracts and other tasks will usually give us credits or new gear, and the data we recover from the Derelicts can help us in our search for the mothership. Did we level? We did not level yet, but we're close to being level 3. Let's keep exploring. Do you see these two items here? We cannot access them unless we fight the habitation. I don't think I want to do that, so we're gonna pass on whatever these are. We will be fighting enemies soon enough inside not habitat guards, but we'll be fighting things like them. Basically, to gain access to these, you must defeat the guards. The guards will consist of a number of waves equal to 1, plus the number of locked locations around them. Two enemies, and we don't know what that is. Let's go try to kill this group first. More cobras. Lots of cobras on this ship. Well, if we hit him, we're killing his little servant, the skink. Let's start with that. Oh, love the card artwork for that. A melee weapon mod that can be used in this. It would give you a little bit more damage and add electrical strike to you, Twitch. Electrical damage does extra damage against shield. In this case, we'll also apply overload. We'll give it to you. Long, bug-like joints are stretching out of a machine bolted into the wall. It's hard to tell if it is some sort of torture device or if it's used for medical operations. It might as well be something completely different. We have a medic here. Let's have him study it. Come on, Patches, you can do this. You learn that the machine can in fact be used for both torture and medical procedures. You're not entirely sure how to operate it, but know enough to reduce the chances of getting accidentally harmed when using it. Let's try it! Oh, did we... Oh, that must be able to heal us. Okay. Mental note, there's a heal device here. Possibly. I guess we'll move here, and then we'll scan. Only one other thing to loot from this ship. And that will do it, everyone. Oh, a fight. Upon entering the room, you face some bloated insects. They flare up and start puffing up clouds of noxious-looking gas. This time we're not ambushed by them. Drudgers. They generally have large amounts of evasion. They gain a lot of focus with their attacks as well. The more focused you are, the more damage you do to an enemy, I believe. They have, if I didn't mention, they have good evasion as well on them. Puncture on their attacks as well. Oh, I should have definitely tried to kill that one. Well, we can kill this one before it gets a chance to go, so let's do so. Or rather, before it gets to go again. Another Power Glove mod. A level 3 scavenging mental tool, but that's universal cursing, so we don't want that. And a level 1 light ranged weapon. 7 damage, but I think we'll probably pass on it. Wormlings burst out from grates in the room. Prepare for combat. Well, we need these things if we want to complete that one quest. Pulsar, single blast, touch. We'll scattershot to kill one. Oh, nice, and blast charges will finish them. Need one more intestines to complete that quest. In the past, everyone, I think that enemies never respawned on a derelict. I could swear that they do now. I don't know if I don't know for a fact if they do, but it seems to me like they can. But originally, if they don't respawn and they still don't respawn, then it was possible to exhaust all the income possibilities that your team would have. Alright, no one is wounded. Let's go ahead and hit the lair. We have no quests to turn in here. Hello, Scavenger. How goes your search? I unknowingly brought the location data to a stargazer suffering from amnesia at Uncle Derelict. It offered me the data as thanks. Intriguing. As if the consuls could experience psychological symptoms. But that is a different matter. Congratulations for the successful retrieval. Was there anything else? No, I'm good. Time for me to go. You can ask him, you can say any news regarding the data, and if you've qualified, which is to say you've gained, I think, a level or 2, he will spawn additional derelicts for you to go to at that point. Well, locations. One of the expansions I have actually makes it so that some of these locations can be planets instead. We also might have leveled, and we did! Wonderful, level 3. We only get 2 points at this level, though. So, let's go ahead. I wish I could tell, can I... One second, everyone. If I go to Codex... Okay, so here is where we can see how much the classes gain in their stats per level. Our medic, as we can see, is gaining 2 weaponry, 5 tech, 8 medical, 1 scavenging, and 2 mental every level, 3 hit points, and plus 0.8 initiative. Here's our miner, mostly getting weaponry and scavenging, and our scrapper is the same. Okay, well, let's head over here. We're gonna sell this junk. And now if I do have anything that I can use to unlock a thing, we should. Let's go ahead and unlock the light weapon. With the level 1 weapon. We'll unlock the power glove with this glove mod. And arguably I should keep going. Let's get rid of this one. It's a nice light-range weapon, but that's very nice. I like seeing 2 tracking shots, and purging shot could be nice too. I'll hold on to it at the moment. A light weapon might actually be a better weapon for our medic to have, and we give the scatter gun to our scrapper. Okay, well, let's do 2 more things before we call the session, everyone. First, it might be wise for us to at least purchase 1 implant for someone. Can we give someone some evasion? Plus 15 evasion at the cost of 15 life. That's tempting. Oh, right. I'm sorry, I'm not talking. So you can see that they all do different things. Generally, it's a trade-off. You gain something at the cost of something. Here, it's because you gain more damage at the cost of 2 hit. I would imagine this is never worth it. You always want a 100% chance to hit. Plus 50% melee damage doesn't seem like that's worth it. This could be. On a class that doesn't get much in the way of life, getting 15% evasion could be amazing. Is there a life upgrade, actually? Oh, we could take this plus 5 everything, too. Is there a life upgrade? There's damage resistance at the cost of damage. But I don't know if our medic's going to do much damage anyway, so that could be useful. We could get just a tiny bit of damage resistance. Some interesting stuff. There's also advanced upgrades you can take, but you have to unlock them first from the research center. I'm really tempted to take this, but maybe we can do 1 more derelict without any of the implants. So we'll pass on them then. Is there anything here I want? Let's take 1 rank in scan duration to leave them scanned for 1 round. And let's see if there's any better equipment for sale. A level 3 spread weapon. But I don't think it's worth 676 bucks. Oh, maybe it is, actually. Hold on. This has -2 armor for 1 turn when it strikes an enemy. 9 damage, that's 1 better than what we're currently using, and has 4 initiative. Oh, he's also selling a level 3 assault weapon. He's selling some decent things. You know what? I'm just going to think about this, everyone. I'm not sure what I should take. That is very tempting. Oh, that is a third of our cash for that. I would give this weapon to Twitch, though. He'd drop his level 1 assault weapon for it. You know, I think it's worth it. I think it is. It's a lot of money, but he gains 3 points of damage. He gains more initiative. He too will do AoE damage with his ranged attacks, and all his ranged attacks apply a armor penalty. Let's take it. And then finally, I think we will try for a new power glove via crafting. So, yep, let's do it. So what we're going to do, everyone, is we're going to try to making a new power glove. The level of the items are always generally going to be the level of your group, level 3 in this case. The cost is down here. Holy crap! I don't think I liked this. This is way too many cards in his hand. I like the damage, but not the cards. So, here's what we do. We say, I want some rerolls. To gain 1 reroll, we've got to go ahead and disassemble something. So we'll take apart his level 1 assault weapon. And I'll reroll the cards for this glove. That's a lot more like it. We get 1 double strike, 1 stunning blow, and 1 bash. So we'll pick up 3 more damage here. We'll lose both heavy strikes and pick up a double strike and a bash instead. Alright, everyone. And I think that will do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. The next one of these may go up some significant amount of time from now, just as a heads up, everyone. But if I'm making mistakes or what have you, feel free to let me know, and I'll have plenty of time to read them. This is not going to be a series that I upload all the time. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, and take care, everyone.